Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the headset Creak. It was just recently opening day for a mountain bike hill at Poli, so took out my Spartan, and of course, very first trail, this is what I hear. So, of course we want to address that and fix it. Not a huge deal currently, but it could potentially damage headset bearings or something else in the frame. So first things first, we're going to do the easy quick check. So before we start, re-greasing and going too deep into anything, we're just going to go ahead and loosen off the stem and then re-torque the top cap just to see if perhaps it might have just come loose, had been sitting over the winter in the bike room and then went for its maiden voyage again for the season. So it's quite typical, this might be it. So we'll go ahead and start with that and see where that takes us. So first, we're going to loosen off the side bolts for the stem. For me, that's going to be a 4mm Allen key. This might differ for your bike, of course. Oops, don't drop your tools. Alright, so now we've got that loosened off, we'll go ahead and loosen off the top just to make sure there's enough movement. Alright, perfect. So now that we're all loosened off, we're going to grab the torque wrench. Now, you don't necessarily need a torque wrench, but it is super useful, especially if you're going to get into doing a lot of your own maintenance. You know what I mean? You pay quite a bit for these bikes, you don't want to ruin them. So generally, they say about 4 Newton meters. So we'll go ahead with that. This may range if your bike is using carbon or other materials, so you may still want to look that up. And it's going to be a 4mm for me. So we'll go ahead, get that on our torque wrench. So for the time being, we're not too worried with the actual alignment of the fork itself. We just want to make sure everything's in place and compressed properly. There we go. So now we can kind of just straighten our bars a little bit. That's looking pretty straight. We've already done our top torque. And now we will get our torque wrench again. It says 6 Newton meters. And it is a 4mm Allen as well. So we've already got the correct bit. There we go. Now the same thing repeated for our second pinch bolt. And let's inspect and see if we still have our lovely noise. And it looks like that was it for me. So it just happened to be there was a little bit of looseness giving it some play. So this is usually the cause for most people, especially if it's going to be a bike that's being used at the bike park or something of the sort. So the next thing that you'd probably want to check, these spacers here. So the spacers oftentimes can be made of something other than aluminum, and they typically can cause creaking. It's not always the case, but if you're going to be using your bike for jumping, enduro, downhill, probably just get aluminum. There's no point. So that would have been the next thing for me to try and check or swap, would be to put some aluminum ones, or to ensure that they are all aluminum rather. The third and final thing would have been to fully disassemble. So we would, of course, undo the top cap like we've done, undo our 2 pinch bolts that we had already done. We would remove the handlebars, let them hang from the bike, pop the fork down, and we would have wanted to clean everything in the headset. If we, of course, notice there's any sort of pitting, wear, or, any scuffing, it probably would be time to look and see if there's, maybe a replacement necessary. So, of course, if this helped you out, please like and subscribe. Thanks.